My name is Coretta Adelise Finette Desmerad. I am the fourth-born granddaughter of the Viscountess of Esmeralda of Asperia. My days always get so twisted here. Last night, the night before, those of us in GMA were finally informed about the entity that I, Cortez, and Adric have been investigating for the past few weeks. And our theories were confirmed. This entity that it is now confirmed is actively threatening the world again is a primordial being. Something that has no beginning nor an end. Which certainly explains how it cannot be destroyed. The name I believe adopted for it has been the Darkness. However, this would make many of our Dark Affinity users feel isolated. They would assume that something was wrong with their innate spellcasting. Therefore, I will insist on calling it anything but dark. But what do we do for those students? And I suppose, more importantly, I can't believe I just realized this 3/4 of the way through my running. I should have had somebody else with me. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Cadet.
Professor, permission to excuse myself from my morning runs.
You are excused. Wait, what's the reason?
Because I do not have anybody to accompany me, unless our previous orders have been rescinded.
As of right now, I haven't been alerted that they have. Yes, you've been granted it. Go to go find out where everybody is.
I'll assume I've been dismissed then.
Apologies. I was up all night, dealing with one of the cadets' issues.
Alright, I accidentally clicked something. So now my, all the text in YouTube via my, what's it called? OVR window is blue. I'm starting to get used to identifying Professor Cassidy by his scythe. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. And let's make sure my volume isn't up too loud.
So general consensus on what we discussed amongst ourselves yesterday. We just take it?
We don't, it'll get worse.
Play along for now.
We don't need to fight. We don't need to play the game.
Are those your orders, Alma?
Do you agree, Cadet Harper?
They're doing the same thing again.
So basically, Lila is proposing that they protest this.
Isn't breaking rank exactly what got everyone in this position?
They've received what they wanted. And they're still doing this.
They have not
I
received what
think
they
we've lost any
wanted.
hope for due process.
Whatever the fuck this is.
At least less
What they
fighting.
want is for you to obey.
Less energy, less resources.
Conserve your strength.
Repeat yourself, Harper.
Conserve your strength.
So you agree we take it?
Yes.
Crystal Thorn, your standing orders are to take the death. Don't fight it.
Carida's thoughts is that they should be happy that at the very least nobody here currently watching and listening is about to report them for what's the word? Planning this? Planning the protest like this. Today's a bit of a weird day for Greta. A lot of the I think pretty much all the information she's gathered has been shared and confirmed by the Ascension staff.
Who's doing?
You don't know?
I've been in the woods.
Wait,
Oh,
they just said take the deaths.
well, to put it
Like,
simply,
actual deaths?
it's, a
Coretta
punishment.
assumed yesterday that they were just knocked unconscious.
Assuming it's like how it was yesterday, they are going to be pretty much fighting to until they can't anymore.
What the guy got caught doing?
No. Far from it. It's torture.
I don't really know if it's my place to explain, mostly because I only know most of it.
He stuck the whole melon in the water, or not melon, lemon in the water.
But
Come hell or high water. This
it was something deemed problematic enough that the entire squads of those who were deemed guilty of it are being punished with them.
Huh.
Let's see. When it comes to Curtis runs, I think the only professor here might be Nisha.
Or effectively dead.
What the fuck?
Illusory dead, but sensation of it at least is what I was told.
I see, so they're going to be feeling the sensation of death.
I was about to say outdoors or from this academy's orders.
Higher than that.
In a way,
Huh?
you're not waiting to see something like that. You may not want to hear for it.
Right. Curtis should probably fill him in
Really,
on
this when there's bigger issues going on.
everything regarding the darkness.
This exercise will no longer be necessary.
I don't care.
You will be able to go about your day.
The shit I had to find out.
That's
as
Professor
per
Finn.
normal.
Does he have his fucking hiding?
The
I
one
do
that
not
we're
personally
warned
think it is
is
necessary for you to
Nothing
be
on this.
tested to such limits and broken. We need you here. Stable,
corrupted by the darkness.
mentally able. I've made a request personally that this exercise is cancelled. And it has been accepted. That is all. Okay. Students. As for the prepared punishment, since that is waylaid, we have something else in store for you. So, if you would please accompany Barian and I, we'll be giving you something you should have had originally. Please.
Right. We need to make sure that Val is still here. There's Cortez. There he is.
I'm in a similar boat as you.
Val, follow me. I have to get you filled in on some of the lessons that we've been going through.
Bullshit. The bullshit that's been going on.
Dead reset.
I wouldn't exactly call Griffin lessons and herbalism.
I don't give a shit about that kind of crap right now. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, Davril. If you would,
Yes?
I know that there are some things I've likely forgotten.
I can't tell you guys.
There's always the chance that Val has been touched by the darkness. It would be best not to be alone with him. Ah. Ah. My name. I had to get into the voice just right, and I think I've found something fairly close at the very least. I always find that it's easier to concentrate on one of the upper levels. But if you'd like, we can keep this brief. Last night we received some, I would say, troubling information. And
Oh.
I will need to confirm everything that you know.
Okay.
And the run-ins that you have had. So if you will, follow me.
About time so we can finally catch up.
In truth, this is something that a few of us have been looking into for a few weeks now. It has only been recently that, well, it has been made more known. However, I would prefer that any information you do have outside of this meeting you keep discreet.
I've been so only information I only given out is to two people very vaguely to see if they're moles.
Isn't it?
So, what have you learned from your side?
We have learned its associated names, keywords, potentially a good portion of its history, and what it is capable of, what its motivations might be, and those who are potentially touched by it. Before I go into any details, I will need to know what you know.
Keywords, darkness. There are also dark generals. There have been some walking around, causing some mischief. Obviously, we already know that. The thing that we saw on the island, that wasn't just a run-of-the-mill cult. That was an invitation.
Is that the extent?
I know more, but it's more so of I got to make sure that, well, whatever you have correlates.
The only piece of information that we have not. The only piece of information that you seem to have that we don't is the alleged invitation. Though there are some among us who do theorize that it was, in fact, something that we were purposely allowed to happen upon.
No, it was more so for them. We so happened on it because there was a meeting place for them. From what I can tell and from what I was told and learned, right? This entity uses others to basically do its bidding. What we were watching was an invitation to that fish cult, right? To join their ranks.
And the
party.
And as well as that it's somewhere this place is keeping it safe. Well, what held, I'm not too sure. It's in here somewhere. I haven't been really looking too much, but I have a more so a theory on maybe how. Maybe.
The last thing that I will need to inquire upon. We have been told that you have had a run-in with a shadowy entity.
Yes, on the island.
Could you explain or give us more details about this experience?
I feel like he was just most likely trying to bring me out somewhere else so he can nab me, or at least get at me. Right? There wasn't anything too.
Specific phrasing? Just so we know.
More so of a
exactly
whistle
what he
and
said.
more so of a whistle or come over here kind of thing, like beckoning.
I see. If you are able to
nothing-
recall, please paint a picture for me.
Alright. It was the day with, I don't know if you guys were there. It was the day with the giant snake came out. Right. And I believe,
Was that the day
no?
Zane showed up?
Yes, that was the day Zane showed up. Right.
Yeah, I was on the
And I
island
believe
that
it,
day.
and I believe it was Zane himself is the one that approached me.
Could you describe the appearance, if there was any?
Fortunately, everything was dark. There were some shadowy, like cusps of like in wafer in the air, but other than that, not too much with that. I haven't been touched, but though I've been hearing things here and there, but I feel like it's more something else other than that.
And
I think Zane's a herald.
just to complete the picture, your reaction and how the situation
Reaction?
ended.
I was kind of miffed at the fucking Professor Cassius, so I just told her to kindly fuck off.
And I assume then
I fucked off. So I don't know.
very well.
You've always been a bit
The
outspoken
most-
anyway.
The most pertinent information for you to know right now is that the other day, a revenant named Zane attacked the school grounds. The barrier was let down from the inside, and he was allowed to roam onto campus. He abducted
That
one
makes
of the
sense,
Ascension
okay.
students.
Are they still abducted or are they already retrieved?
Yeah, they
She
were
has already
returned.
been retrieved.
Good. Okay.
I believe the current punishments being doled out to Ardent Vale and Crystal Thorn relate to events that
For
happened
what?
that night. From what I can
Were they
recall,
the
it
ones that
was
let Zane in?
insubordination.
Yeah, that's what it was stated as.
Insubordination.
Disobeying direct orders
Right.
or something.
You know, ever since coming here, alright, it's been the reason why I came, well, we all came here just to do this tournament, but also we've heard of many things of the Ascension Academy, right? When I saw how things were, their equipment and everything, it's just like us, right? So I try to, from day one, try to figure out what's so special, right? The barrier, yeah, that's something you don't really see every day.
It's a massive keystone, yes. It's
Right.
very impressive. Yeah, they've got a high level of stuff.
Right, but I try to make sure that as I do my troublemaking, causing mischief here and there, it's more so to cover the layer of me investigating places where I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah, I was looking one way, not looking the other. Yes, standard kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the lead up to everything whilst we didn't
It
know what
seems
everyone
they
was
like to
capable
hide
of.
things from their own students as well, even though, from what I can tell, from the books, from the history, and the reason why this school is up on this fucking place, right, is to fight whatever this thing is.
Well, the
There
school's here
is-
from what I can surmise as there's the ley line, because it charges that keystone.
There is
You think-
another reason.
believe that?
Well, and the mines.
As far as the secrecy goes, the reason why you must be utmost discreet about this, should anybody learn that you, or those around you, even suspect of this information being true, then it is likely that you and everybody here, all of the GMA students will be executed for treason.
Yeah, that's why I usually kept my mouth shut and gave out fake information that if anything was brought up, I would be like, I don't know, what are you talking about? So,
The only reason why I shared the information I did the other day was because our fellow cadets were getting heated about the lack of knowledge. If they were to bring their
course, right?
concerns
We're-
up to the higher staff here,
yeah.
then there would be a good chance that they would be punished.
That's the thing,
There
they
were
all
too
want to be
many
good little soldiers.
coincidences.
Of course, yeah. They want to be good little soldiers to help out that they can, but they don't know that they need to follow orders. Right. But sadly, we have free will. And, well, we want to make sure what we're doing is right.
Along that topic, that line of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to making sure you're doing the right thing, do you agree with jumping face first into battle, or do you prefer to gain information from your fellow comrades first?
Depends on the situation. Though I like to gain information first, but if it's a more of a life situation where, let's say, one of you are about to get fucking skewered, well, I'll jump at that chance.
Now let's say you have come across your fellow cadets who are guarding a building. However, there's also a battle in front of the school. What are you more likely to do?
Well, if I'm there, the people that are guarding it, like, what's going on, right? Where do you want me? Do you want me in the battle, or do you need more guards here? It's like,
If you ever get the chance to, please inform Lux that his behavior was not just insubordinate,
You
but
think he's gonna
downright
listen to me?
foolish. He is
The
most
Lux is
certainly not
back
going
in
to
Junkie,
listen
we
to
all
me.
know it.
I am merely trying to find somebody that he is willing to lend an ear to.
I'll talk to him, but you know me, I'm not a people person.
I'm hoping at the very least he will see logic.
Mm.
I mean, even Yuri was able to follow orders, and he was in a mood at the time. I'm so...
And then he
Yeah.
abandoned his post. So, that is currently the state we are in now.
Interesting.
Another major point is we shouldn't actually pry.
Of
That's the
course,
thing.
but that's the thing, though. We're going to, because one, people are in danger, right?
I will give
Yes
you
and
more
no, 'cause we were
information
told
on
about learning about it.
I will give you more information on this entity. However, Davril does bring up a good point. Allegedly, the more you know about this entity, the more susceptible you are to it.
Of course. Listen, when I learned from one of the cadets here, right, that's what she warned me about. Right? That's what they warned me about, right? And as well as the potential of being executed. So believe me, I've known it for a while now, and I don't think I want to get executed right away, you know?
Very well. Then, just to catch you up to speed with the other GMA cadets, go downstairs, pick up the World History and Desolation of Moontide Pass books, and bring them back up here. I will explain their relevance.
You mean the day where all those groups of people died, right? Fighting this entity?
Yes.
I already know about it.
Have you memorized it then?
Briefly. Not all of it, but briefly.
The Desolation of Moontide Pass. It mentions a dark cult that worships some entity that is able to corrupt the minds and hearts of those who fight against it. It also seems to be capable of raising the dead. Therefore, it is assumed that should you come into contact and try to fight this thing, that you will become one of its forces. The only thing that we are at the very least doing to protect ourselves is to stay in groups so that it cannot pick any individual off.
If anything, like I said, the best way to dispatch me is get rid of my staff. Alright? If I get corrupted or mumbo jumbo, just destroy it. I'll just be a normal elf. No magic.
Don't be afraid to go to our professors about stuff either. They were the ones that came forward and made sure all the dots were connected.
I don't trust professors.
If you have any questions about the information I've given you, or about the informations we've received, please go to Professor Wicks.
I'll think about it, but everything sounds sound in what I know as well, so it's not too much.
The fact that they were willing to come forward and disclose all the information to everyone puts them in pretty good stead, in my viewpoint.
What I intend
they
to
could
do,
have messed us around and lied.
because you have proven capable of finding answers, I would like your assistance in investigating further.
Yeah, what do you need?
My current theory is that everything that this school is structured around, there is the barrier, the great tree in the front, and the sheer abundance of wildlife in the area, even within this library's walls. I believe
I believe it's from the old headmaster.
I believe every portion of it was designed to help suppress the power of this entity.
Possibly. That means we would have to find a weak point, or something that's more. No, not a weak point, a strong point. Something that's basically somewhere where they're putting it where it's a stronger point to hold something. I've been searching around, seeing if there's any remnants of that energy.
The most important thing is that we do not find this. Because if we find it, there is then a greater chance that we will commit a grave mistake. Do you understand?
I ain't opened the door. Oh, yeah, be careful opening doors. Oh, well, if you find a magic door.
Those who are...
Technically, they've probably all got magic permeated in them.
Those who are suspected of being touched or corrupted by this entity are Professor Finn, Risei, and potentially Professor K. Professor Finn is the most suspicious. Risei and Professor K are known to be around them most often. Whatever you do,
I don't see the reason why Risei might
him
be
out of the arena.
Whatever you do, do not initiate any encounter with Professor Finn.
Oh, no, wait, here's a good one. Val, if he gives you an order, malicious compliance. Be real specific about the wording. Try to screw him over on it so you don't get yourself in trouble, but still follow it at the same time.
I got you. Don't
Nothing
worry.
more
Don't
fun
worry.
for
You know,
right?
You know how I am.
I thought you'd like to play like a little game, man.
I play all the games with all the professors, right?
Exactly.
Anyway, Risei. She can. How she works, I watched her and I've talked to her, right? If I get a sample from her, I could probably make some kind of compass to maybe locate something.
It is, I believe, far too dangerous to make anything that could locate anything related to this entity. We have no real means of defense against this. My investigation
The problem is...
What I intend to do is to strengthen the
security, right?
Security, yes.
I see the issue of that. If we knew from the get-go, none of this probably would have happened because people are burying their fucking noses, right? I had fucking like a bunch of us looking around. I looked around because I was suspicious about how things were at the school because I wanted to learn about the school, right? Then we have all these other cadets in here just doing all these random shit, right? And we have no clue what's going on, the dangers, right? Like, heck, they could have just bursted out right now, and we had no clue. We could have died because we had lack of information.
The prevailing theory is that the CAF opened up Ascension, who has never participated in the cross-corps competition before, to this, specifically so that this entity could get at us as, well...
Testing grounds?
Yeah.
Essentially, the working theory is that we have been deliberately exposed to this. Therefore, I don't believe that there is any faction that we can expose this to.
Yeah, because it means that someone high up in the CAF signed the papers to get us to come here. And we've been informed that people in the CAF, if you look at the individuals that came to help Finn...
Do you think the Queen did it?
No. Cross-Allied Forces military. I would hope that you remember that this military is a worldwide peacekeeping organization.
Yes. Exactly, but the thing is though, right? Like, we're from...
But if the Queen's unaware, she's not going to say no to something that promotes the unity of two different schools and two different nations, right?
Right.
You must also think...
It's a diplomatic thing, it's politics.
Should other governments become involved in this, what do you expect them to do? The most logical answer would be to storm the gate. Get a hold of whatever is going on here and supply more manpower. However, in supplying more manpower, that also gives this entity far more fuel to work with. Especially if we suspect that more members of the Cross-Allied forces are compromised.
There's gotta be a way.
They're trying to put out a fire with flour. You throw it on it and the whole thing will bloody explode.
And this has been around for a long time. Ancient times, right? Like, how do we not have any procedures? Just shove it in a fucking campus and then be like, well, you know, we'll keep it sealed here. You know, there's no
Stick
protocols,
it in a box
no
and
nothing.
sit on it, it seems. Yeah.
Like, there's no protocols, right? I would understand, like, if it was an area, it was off limits. You had constant guards making sure the routine changes. Like, they have the money, they have the support.
I mean, who says they're not doing that? And we don't know anything about how they're doing that. Somewhere away from prying eyes. That's the thing. That would be a area that no one would be allowed anywhere near. And we shouldn't go poking to try and find that.
My current objective is to find out more information on the barrier crystal here and on the tree in front of campus. Both of them are surrounded with runes that are unreadable.
Yeah, good luck getting up on the roof, though. Saw a couple of the professors after I came off the roof myself yesterday. They were fiddling with the door. They've probably locked it off again.
And should we not gain
Well,
any
I
useful
suppose you could use that
information?
spell.
Should we not gain any useful information from investigating the tree, then the next plan is I will be looking through the library for more possible links. I will trust that you two, if you do have any friendly relations among the Ascension students, do not pry. Do not let them know that you are fishing for information. But if you are able to get anything from them, I do trust that you'll return to me.
Yeah. Like I said, I already have my moles. I'll talk to them.
And regarding Rise, please do not be alone with her. She is suspected
Be fine.
She is suspected of being touched by this entity. We do not know exactly how this spreads, and I prefer somebody be with you should anything
Go up
happen.
against Lux.
More meeting the poke at, right? Hey,
Yeah.
what you reading?
General spellbook.
Oh, gonna cause more mischief. See ya.
Hey, good luck with that, Val. Who's down there?
I knew it! I fucking knew it! Woo!
Yeah.
I knew if you
Welcome
knew
to
having
the
secret
library.
meetings would be in the fucking library, the very fucking top. Fucking, I'm a genius. Woo!
Who's making meetings?
No one.
Oh, okay.
It's not really that secret, is it?
No.
As I said, I was catching him up
one of the
on.
offices that's never used.
I was just catching him up on the Griffin lessons, even though he didn't want to learn.
Yeah, he missed the herbology too.
But at the very least, he listened.
Retained some of the information, I think.
I just hope at this point he doesn't turn around and try to make a poison of some sort.
Yeah, if he brews up something, it could go pretty bad. Since, messing with ingredients he hasn't thought of before, right?
Well, in any case, I certainly wouldn't want to take any offers he might have. Not alone. Make sure somebody's there to witness my death, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna blow your head off, do it flashily in front of someone else.
Oh, that's the plan. But regarding you, Cortez. Our orders to travel with somebody have not yet been rescinded.
I wasn't aware of those ones.
Yeah.
Therefore, until somebody comes to get one of us, we will all be stuck here until we all leave.
Yeah, better get comfortable then. Unless someone comes to get us or we all decide to leave, but, well.
I mean, Ashley ran through here. Go catch up with her.
She's already long gone.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, she's pretty slow. By my standard of things, but yeah. As soon as you're outside of that door, you could get anywhere pretty quickly. Portal system's not too far.
And truth be told, after the other night, I'd rather not try to keep up, play practically tag. There must be something about
Perfectly followed, but
there must be something about short blue people that just makes them inherently faster.
yeah, spiky also helps.
So that's, wind resistance.
If it was merely wind resistance, then I might expect a little speed boost.
Maybe you can find a way to use the curl.
I'll have my hair just whip around wildly and let me take flight. Is that it?
Yeah, seems about right for twin tails.
A shame you can't switch affinities with Dita.
Perhaps a shame for you. I happen to be proud of what I do.
How long do you think it's gonna be until assembly rings?
Depends. Sounds like they had a lot of meetings in the morning.
Meetings, and not
That
to
kind
mention,
of
they also
morning
had to oversee our unveiling Crystal Thorn's punishments today.
Seems like those are over.
No, they were let out of the arena this morning. Both
But they
squads.
were given a different sort of punishment.
Yes, it seems like they've been lessened due to other information.
Yeah.
Don't stop so suddenly.
A little more observant.
roll then, huh?
Yeah, I was in my tent over there. I'm really surprised
That is
nobody went
your
to wake me up.
tent.
I mean, my tent's literally just right there. It wouldn't have taken that long.
I guess people really thought you needed to sleep.
You right, Professor?
Yes, cadets, I'm perfectly fine. Just waiting for the assembly to start.
The bell, yeah.
Yes, because
Real nice.
currently I'm waiting on a meeting right now.
Politics,
once
everyone
again-
loves it, right?
It's not politics, sadly. It's meetings to discuss what the fuck is going on. Yeah.
That's politics, Professor.
Is it politics? I wouldn't really count that as politics. I think that's more of a school discussion, not politics. It's politics.
It's the
revolves
cooperation
around,
between
you know.
GMA and Ascension, Professor. It all boils down to politics, no matter how you cut it.
Right now, it's just school discussion. Oh, would you look at that? Cadet Ashley.
Yeah. Here and gone instantaneously.
Because she's looking for people right now. She's literally looking for anyone to talk to and hang out with. Hello, Cadet.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah.
She ran away as soon as she saw us before.
Good morning.
Yeah. She
Oh,
came
there
back with a
you are.
squad.
She's going-
Look at that.
running- Yeah,
I was
She's
playing
got a whole squad.
with
Portal roulette was
You two were too good for me.
amazing
a
experience.
classic.
I'm like actually dizzy after that one, man.
I got you
Holy
guys
shit.
really good, but that second time you guys owe me like a blind shit.
Yeah, dude, that first
you
time,
did it once, and then
I
we said
expected you to
no
go towards the
more.
portal, but like there was like, I was like, there's no way she could have reached it. It would still be on at least. I was like, how, where'd she go? Like, what the heck? Did you just like
Sure.
become
I've
one with the
got
bushes?
all
the hiding
of you. I would hope that all of you are carrying on with your training whilst we're here. We don't have long
Yes.
left being here, but that doesn't mean that you can just laze about.
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Be sure to keep training.
Will do, ma'am.
We don't skimp.
But enjoy yourselves for the time being until assembly starts. Then you have to be, you know,
We don't.
GMA mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We gotta squeeze
Understood.
every last.
Wait, morning assembly hasn't started yet?
Bit of...
No.
I thought they
It
missed
is
it.
not yet.
What are you guys reading about?
No.
Goodness.
Yeah, I saw the CAF guys with the lot of head staff and Crystal Thor and Arden Vale, so I think
We
they're
were
handling
filling
that.
Val in
That's
on
herbology.
the
Extra time here.
herbology lessons that he missed.
No, fair enough.
Don't eat the black plant.
Oh yeah.
Don't touch the black plant.
Yeah, the
I
Gorgon.
didn't even-
You mean brown mold?
Don't eat it.
Should I give them?
No,
should
the
I
black,
give them
the
to us?
what's it
I
called,
can't
Gorgon
post
root or
videos.
whatever, the one with the black petals.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. Ashley,
Yeah,
Should
you
I
already
do
wanted
it?
to eat.
did you know that arch is asymmetrical?
Nope, don't say that to me.
Just very slightly.
I see it.
Like,
That
it's-
was
I hate it.
That was
I hate
very
it.
Slightly leaning
I hate it,
this
you
way.
bastards.
the arch that
You bastards.
my griffin slammed into. I was the one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this out
It's
here.
scra-
So it's your fault.
It ran into it and
Originally
scrambled
put out
up
the
it.
Eldritch knowledge that the portal is not centralized to the laser it's coming out from. That was me. Nobody else did that. That was me.
That was yeah.
That was me. Then everyone else took it away from me, but it was mine. Damn it! It was mine.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, it's terrible, but at the same time, there's actually no reason why you couldn't just do that, you know?
I found out
It's like,
that the
yeah, we
dorm
make our
doors were
shields all
bigger
nice
on the
and round,
outside
but
than they were in
nothing
the
is stopping
hallways.
us from like having a round
This
shield
is
and
true.
just have,
Just
like a random
adjusting
bit
it.
sticking off. You make your healing circle, but instead it's like a square, but one of the corners is rounded.
It quite
Actually-
unfortunately happens.
I hate
Did
this.
you know that the dorm room doors are bigger inside the dorm than they are from the outside in the hallway?
Oh, I knew that one. Yeah, I just thought it was massive.
Yeah.
Did you know the trim at the bottom of all the balconies abruptly stops before each door, and there's like a 5 feet of like gap between the door and the
They've
trim?
got to get the steps in. They
Well-
got the step thing on their wrist.
They're also halfling height, and there are no halflings at this school.
That's always kind of funny.
The railings.
Can you
The railings are halfling height.
The railings are very
So
short. Yeah.
to everybody else, it would be like knee height or lower.
A whole scoot.
I'm just gonna trip my
Very
ankles on the balcony, fall down. The railings are so short. They wouldn't do anything for me.
Here you go.
Thank you.
My head.
Your head?
Oh, did you just a quiet morning so far?
Well, how much
Haven't
spiky
slept.
hair? What do you mean your hair?
Haven't slept.
Oh, you meant you were tired. I thought you meant I hit your
God
head.
damn it.
Yeah. I'm
Relatively.
in that wonderful hazy area. It fucking sucks.
You didn't sleep very well.
Try at all.
Were you doing those reports or something?
Yeah. Totally.
How far did you get?
The.
Always big dramatic there.
Ah, yeah. Pretty fancy scroll text and all. Most impressive day you'll ever see in your life.
What was the next word?
I was thinking medical.
Then after that?
Morning.
Morning.
If I
Do you
recall,
have
wanted to
a-
ask me something the other
Yes. Do you have a moment?
day. Yes.
Good morning.
Coretta.
I didn't think you'd like cheese, but okay.
I don't.
As far as okay,
They're just behind.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I already know about the cheese monster. It's fine. That's not what I wanted to ask about. During your fight with Cortez, I noticed you did some magic dealing with blood, hemomancy. Is that something that can be learned, or is that specifically a vampire?
Why do you want to know?
It would be very useful in the field of medicine if you can heal wounds from the inside out using, the control of blood. Also purifying the blood from toxins and poisons,
True enough. The answer is yes, it can be learned. The problem is, most of you people think it's forbidden. It is dark magic after all.
Well, my secondary affinity is dark, so...
And it
there
deals
isn't
with
really...
sacrifice.
Not dark in that way, Dita. As much as you
Define-
imagine
It is seen as
the
witchcraft,
possible
Dita.
beneficial aspects of this hemomancy, also think of the many ways in which you can torture somebody with it.
Do you honestly think I would torture someone?
Not you, but people who would claim to learn from you in the future.
Precisely. It is highly sought after by the more nefarious types. And they'll do anything to get their hands on it.
It wouldn't be any different from actually living in Bagua. Constantly living in fear.
You wish to learn this for medical reasons.
Yes. I feel somewhat useless sometimes whenever I see everybody getting hurt. I've offered my services as a, emergency air supply respirator, but I still wish I can do more. And I don't have any healing aspects myself. Healing
If you're
magic.
looking for a teacher,
So I thought-
Dita, I'm not that one. Nor do I wish to teach you.
There. Okay. Just wanted to know if it was what is the word? At all possible.
It's quite possible.
If
Whether you can do it, though, is the question. It's rare even amongst my people.
Right.
And usually those who try
Good
to learn
morning.
end up dead.
Oh. So when you meant sacrifice, it was self.
Quite right. You make one mistake and you're right.
We get the columns to do it.
Why is Ryder picking fights with the invisible janitor? I'll be right back.
Pardon?
Morning, Coretta.
Invisible gender?
Adric being a typical X chromosome.
Just let a lady touch a stick, man. It's fine.
Welcome back.
Oh.
The broom has been defeated.
Yeah, that's right, Broom.
Come on. Really? Why?
I can't believe
Why?
I'm watching a man lose a fight to a broom.
Dusted.
He could lose a fight to a wet paper bag.
Your room must be super dirty if the brooms don't like you much.
I'm not gonna refreeze it back up now. It's down now, it's stuck there.
That's offensive.
No, it's not. It's only offensive if I said it was because of him. I'm saying that
I guess
there's
like
a
cleaning up the
possibility
trash.
That there is a thing.
But Ryder's not being dragged along.
Rush, there's a piece of trash on the ground. Can you get it up, please?
Exactly.
I mean, like, yeah.
It's littering the hallways.
Alright, we're in the same boat here.
Exactly.
Up in a
You
bun
don't
all
have
day.
long hair and not shed.
You are instigating the broom, Ashley. Why? Why do you instigate?
How long have you
My
Wait,
man
I want to
came
do a
in
spin.
fired
Do a
broom,
full
about to get
360
his fuck
spin.
off his feet.
He's lucky it didn't swing back the other way and just go up between his
Swing
legs.
back, swing back, swing back.
Ah, no.
Up your ass, Ryder, come on.
I think the broom needs to like really.
I think it's
dig in
tickling
there.
him.
That's just some really pointy
You
bristles.
clearly
like,
have
you know.
something that it wants.
So then, Dita, what is your takeaway from that conversation?
That it is extremely dangerous for someone like me to learn it, or to attempt to learn what is this.
It was hitting him. I heard some fucking.
Some enchanted tool.
Yes. Oh, were you there when it started beating the crap out of Adric because he thought he could zap it out of it was malfunctioning. Yes, it was malfunctioning, and it had flipped upside down and started like scrubbing the floor, the wooden handle part. And Adric, in his infinite wisdom, thought he could reverse the spell by zapping it. At which point, it got really mad and started beating the crap out of it.
I did not witness that, but I certainly witnessed it.
Antagonize the broom. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, it was Adric the other day, right after the teacher assault with when we were defending the points against the teachers assaulting it. As we were all getting healed over, there was a broom that was cleaning up the mess, and it had malfunctioned, and instead of sweeping it up, it had turned upside down and started scraping the floor. Our cadet Adric, in his infinite wisdom, thought he could reverse the spell, or the what was his words? He can reset the enchantment by zapping it with his electricity. It got very annoyed and promptly beat the crap out of him.
You fucking broom. Alright, broom. It's not the rarest occasions ever.
And I see it's part 2.
Get the fuck away from me. Get out of here.
This is
We
how
don't
it
want your
started the
cleaning
first time.
business. You stupid broom.
The first
I hope
time?
you know that I
just witnessed.
never
Yeah.
right to inanimate objects, and now you're very animate right now. Broom.
I'm not going to pay money for that.
Well,
So, what is your aim in antagonizing a non-sentient enchanted tool?
Potentially, yeah.
Are you attempting to make a clown out of yourself?
I don't know if you don't know, but I'm always a clown.
That is fucked. Come on.
You said it, not me.
That joke is dark, man.
Nobody takes me seriously anyway. So what really is the point?
The point is, if nobody takes you seriously, then whether you do something good or whether you are hurt, neither of them will be acknowledged.
Well, it's fine. I guess that means I die a lonely life. If that's the case.
It is not, in fact, fine because it allows you to succumb to something far worse than death.
Wait, why would there be a Panapi?
You know, I'm
you'll
not
end up
really
becoming
used to this.
you'll become a warped version of yourself. If that's who you choose to be, then so be it.
All right, look. Stop having caring feelings. I'm not used to this, especially from you.
I'm just...
Wait, I know how to cure this. Throw a snarky remark at me. Something. I need it.
Just take some responsibility.
It also helps me sit down and not have everyone look up my skirt.
Was that snarky?
Yeah. Apparently, I'm the perfect guard for making sure people can't see up the skirt.
Hello. How are you?
Well, yeah, I mean, if they try, then they'd get, an eye full of things that they probably don't want.
Given the circumstances, I'm as calm as I can be.
Oh, Mason! Mason!
Fair enough.
Watch out!
Absolutely livid and are able to hold your emotions very well.
Ryder's been taking Alex from the broom.
No, it's just a broom that's been going specifically after
Yeah,
him.
broom's been tripping him and like slapping him and bonking him for the last 10 minutes.
You sure it's not the same ghost that haunts your dorm?
The ghost that haunts his dorm?
How dare you? How dare you bring up the ghost that haunts my dorm? How dare you?
I'm guessing this
One
is
moment.
forbidden knowledge.
Hold on one moment.
What?
Wait,
Here's a piece of gum.
I'm gonna go with Cortez.
Oh, sweet, thanks.
Thank you.
Mason, you got enough to share?
All right.
I get it.
Now, first off, now listen here.
You meant to chew it,
Listen
not to eat it.
here.
You know what? You meant to eat it.
You're gonna choke on the
There's a
gum
couple
if you're talking while you're chewing.
By the way, Davil, you
I
should
will
probably
not
hand
choke
him
on
his
the gum.
L's that
My
he's been
throat is
racking up.
perfect. I won't do no such
Mason,
thing as talk.
where'd I put it?
And now
Right,
he's
Doing a lot of gagging.
Someone put his
Damn.
back.
Of course.
Heimlich, something. Help
Stop,
it,
stop,
help
stop.
it.
Well, no, you only get... you don't get that one. It's 3 strong
Very
blows on the
good.
back, first between the shoulder blades, then you go on to that one if you have to. Right, hand out.
Yeah, what? Huh?
Hold your hand out.
I almost choked on gum, and you want me to hold my hand out?
He's gonna check your.
Yeah, I do.
All right, here, check my hands.
Palm reading.
9 L's.
9
9 whole L's.
Damn.
I've taken 9 L's already within the span of us. Fuck you, broom!
Ryder, they're capital L's. So if you turn them around the right way, you can turn them into dubs.
Wow, shush, you can hear the music.
Davil, you might want to get one more ready just in case.
By the way.
How you doing?
There's number 10. Nice and round.
It only takes one hit to knock you out down.
Good.
I think he feels sorry for the bruise a lot in life.
All right, now look here, you.
Does anyone hear someone else
No,
behind
for
us?
somebody
Look at
who
got the shit
has
beat out of him last time, and it took him
How's
like
your
at least
studies
5 or
been
6
going?
times for him to run away.
for somebody who has displayed
Oh,
perhaps
I don't know if
the
it's just
most
because he's a
manners
hard-headed
here.
or...
I'm quite surprised that he would
Oh,
hide
I see.
behind
I mean, you're the
a
most
bench.
powerful person in the
Mind if you're
school.
gonna
You
be my
gotta, you know,
emotional port.
you gotta be studying.
I know.
As long as
You
I
do
can
see how this
maintain
looks, correct?
consciousness, sure.
Obviously.
1 second, let me take
Thank
my...
Yeah.
Let me take a,
Yes.
a mental...
Because we know if you did
Mental note.
anything, you'd
Like-
defeat
Wow,
anyone in a
Defeat
single
has never
blow.
looked so sexy. Whoa, jeez. Such a fucking
Wow.
guy.
Damn.
I might be
sounds really
defeated,
cool.
but boy, do I
Paint
look
him
good.
like one of his
cats are
Eocian
pretty cool.
girls.
Wow.
No, he wants me to paint him like one of his, demonic people. Demonic brethren,
Bad
quote
bitch,
unquote.
You can't kill me.
I should get up though.
Damn.
This ground's dirty as fuck.
There he is. Perda has to keep steeling her nerves. She's feeling really on edge. Has he finally exhausted his mana pool?
doing what I was supposed to have been doing with Jamie, but he didn't feel like doing it yesterday because of the fights.
Mm-hmm. Now he's gotten.
So
What?
now he has. Now he has. I guess he has Ryder.
So sorry.
Nah. I mean, I can always.
I don't know if this is a good idea. I get those. True.
Yeah, you go get him.
We got a full crowd.
Well, that was a move.
Honestly, so I decided to come sit out here until they call us for
Yeah,
announcements.
almost 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost. Big
Hour
talks.
and a half,
Big
like
important
right
talks. What?
Hour and a half, like right now.
Honestly, I believe
Exactly
it's.
this moment, keeping track.
I believe it's now afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Afternoon announcements.
Yeah, we've gone
The legendary, the favorite.
portion of the day.
At this point, I don't believe there will be announcements unless something pops up. I would consider it a free day.
Squads are taken in for meetings, get questioning, whatever
Understood.
have you.
Where is Be prepared if I am mistaken, if you hear a bell, but for the most part, I think it's a free day.
Like I said, the 2 squads. I don't know about Ignis, but we found half of Vanguard.
They only
saw Augusta and Zach.
Joining Cortez.
Esme. I've seen a little bit of Ignis, but they're always, you know, on their own.
I'm not sure about Gallon though. I saw Liang, Rex, and Misty earlier, but I have no idea where they've gone for the last like hour.
Okay, well that was a bit much.
Damn, my man just killed him. Jamie just dodged, alright? It's just a tactical dodge.
That was a fucking fantastic dodge from Jamie. Holy shit.
Like, goddamn, throwing it back.
Nobody throws it back in the dodge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Itchy nose.
Little extra crispy.
Come on, draw your blade. See how it pulls up the flashes. Yeah. You can get the minute to go through.
I zoned out really hard there.
Adric.
Yeah, Crota? What you need?
What's going on? Where is everybody? Where is everybody?
We have some training going on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Exactly. Just join the pit if you want. I'm guessing going to see if there's another book to check out.
I have a different aim today. I figure it would be pleasant to just rest beneath the tree out front. Oh. Do watch where you're walking.
And also the person I need to see. Arbor, please. I can speak to you.
I wonder what all that's about.
Probably about something that shouldn't concern us.
Probably.
Pardon me, cadets.
Oh.
Ah, right. I heard that the door to the roof has been secured shut.
Exactly. I haven't heard anything that suggests the otherwise.
A lock.
Exactly. And unfortunately, none of us know the knock spell, so seems like a spell that's only taught here. Probably for good reason, too.
You can find the spell within their general spell book.
Fair enough. But if it's
So regardless, if you're ever curious about it, then I suggest you look it up.
I'm guessing this is the same tree that Rudy wanted me to take a look at, but...
I think that was Victor just now. Victor's the kind of person I suspect would actually spy, watch over what we do.
Wonder how big of a gathering this place usually sees. They have this much open space out.
You do think that there would be more, perhaps picnics or other social gatherings.
Exactly.
You could even string up a banner from the limbs.
Tree is definitely covered in runes from what Rudy was telling me.
Indeed.
Oh, might as well take a seat then.
Oh. So this really is his place.
Oh. Oh. Huh. Didn't know Chips could play the lute.
I can't sit still. Gerda doesn't have it in her to just sit around.
Is there anything special about this tree?
Besides the fact that it's giant in the centerpiece of this entrance area and it's covered in runes.
I don't suppose any of us can actually climb this.
Any of us at GMA? No. Is that Val? Oh, he's
Could
with
be either
somebody.
Val or Lucas, but I didn't...
I was hoping to enjoy my time, but I just can't seem to sit still.
Have anywhere else you have in mind? Wouldn't mind tagging along?
Do as you wish.
You know, something does seem a bit off, though. They have this building in its classroom. Separated by each squad. But it seems like most of their classes have been all... Oh, I thought I was standing off of it. Maybe it's just a label which classroom is which. Probably looking a bit too into it.
That's all well and good, but also I want to get this out of the way. Okay, let's just
well, if you
assume I
need help,
put a
Crowd,
bunch of
just
stuff
let me know
here.
then. I don't think it likes people pulling it down.
Okay, my theory board will have to come later.
Also, you might want to check your right leg.
Every time.
Okay.
All right.
One more moment for our remaining stragglers.
I just need to talk to Marcus.
Yeah, a little birdie just informed me that of things, and I'm sure you could find Vargas later if you ask him to be there.
Very well. Good afternoon, cadets. Begin this proper. Be seated.
Don't burn it, hon.
Firstly, to explain and to apologize, the deputy and headmistress are currently indisposed, and thus I had to take some time to gather the required information to bestow upon you. As for today, there are currently no plans for any lessons. It is a free day to use to study and train as you see fit, if you have not been already. An update regarding the cross-corps competition. It appears that due to recent events, our schedule has actually been expedited, from what I've been told. And the next event has been announced. The delving of a dungeon, I believe, is the event, if I understand it correctly. I'm unsure what sort of dangers or challenge will be within, but perhaps prepare yourself for surprises and readiness for exploration. If there's nothing to be said from any of the professors, then I believe that shall be all. Thank you for your time, cadets. Use your time wisely. Please. Dismissed.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well then.
Hey, Coretta.
They're going to put my explosions into
I
a
need to
small
go
area.
back
This
to
is not
sleep.
fun.
Because I am tired. But I don't want Ashley to be breaking the rules. If you could escort me with her, please.
Understood.
You did the invisible thing. Now I don't know what it is.
Definitely go to the forge.
Let's go and see if we can find
Kumquat.
Let's wait for Ashley to catch up.
Yeah, everything is staggering really bad. Really, I need
Looks like we can go back to the drawing
It's all
board.
good. Yeah, we're going back to the dorms. We've already been to the drawing board.
Hmm.
Going back to the drawing board, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, so it's good to see you up and lively, Val.
Only suffering.
Val seems to be out of stick.
Adric,
Doesn't have any cartridge in his stick. I don't know what to tell him there.
you escort these two to the dorms.
Okay.
Right.
It's yellow, I promise.
Yeah, you got it. Come on.
there. Okay, he's not following somebody. I always need to check just in case because people can make sure. Okay, yeah, he's not being followed by anybody. People can go invisible when they go through doors.
Jumping on.
And
no,
I have
thought it
made
was,
the mistake
even
of
in Northern Standards, fucked up.
Maybe fight till exhaustion, but that temporary death.
RPing when somebody is out of character invisible.
Oh, suffering.
Okay.
We fight.
Yeah,
We lose, we die. And then we wake up, and then we fight. We live, we die.
You alright? I'm just
Don't
walking in
you-
lines. I'm not doing anything.
Don't you at times
I'm thinking.
perhaps... Well then.
What?
If you're...
Do I what?
If you're a fan of walking around thinking, how about Penny for your thoughts?
Sure thing, Coretta. What a day. I realized they were going to announce a new part of the tournament.
Honestly, with so many interruptions, you'd think that perhaps they just cancel the rest of it and go home.
I think that would be quite the scandal.
Honestly, by the time we get home, there's going to be a scandal anyways.
I guess it depends on how many of us go home. And how many of us are unfortunate accidents in the workplace, and if things keep up.
Especially with how volatile this place seems to be.
It's fun. Dungeon delving. I wonder what that'll mean.
Well, I suppose the most basic sense of the word, we can at least expect that we're going to be going down into some sort of a lair filled with monsters.
Monsters, probably, but I don't imagine the objective's to kill. It could be a time-based thing. How fast can we clear out this dungeon? It could be a treasure thing. What can we retrieve from this dungeon? Could be a combination of treasure received, time taken, people injured. Like the hunts, but on a much grander scale.
Like the hunts, but with more objectives to worry about.
Assuming they do that, there's plenty of options for what dungeon delving could mean. I also don't know how many of us they'll send. If we'll be working together or separately, going into the same dungeon. How we're going to be scored. There's plenty of ways they could do this.
Honestly, as far as scoring goes, I can only imagine that they'll go for a similar approach as the hunts. Have us all go as one big unified group, and then award us 3 times the points.
I'd imagine that would probably be the way as well. It's a shame they didn't just send more of us. Not like they could have occupied that many people here.
Or, on the other hand, perhaps they'd become too occupied.
Maybe.
More students to look after and all that.
I wonder. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I don't really have much to think on it right now. It's too open-ended. Just say dungeon delving and stop making assumptions. I assume I won't get any information asking the professors about it either, so I'll just wait. But I'm curious. Very curious.
The only thing we can do at this point is to speculate. And, of course, to prepare. I imagine especially that buckler of yours will be most useful.
I'd imagine so. I can't imagine a dungeon is very open in space. Like quarters.
Yes.
It'll be exciting. Maybe a chance to even the playing field on the scores that they haven't told us.
We really can only hope so.
And as far as I'm aware, though, we are quite a bit behind, and hopefully this will be something to... Well, we'll see. We shall see. I am excited for another chance to participate in this tournament, cross corps competition.
Honestly, a part of me is just excited to return home. Perhaps even just to see at least one member of my family before ball season starts.
I think that I personally, I'm content here for now. I'll see my family when I see my family. Nothing special to be seen there, you know. you headed, Coretta?
I'm going to be borrowing the classroom's chalkboard for a few minutes. I need to clear my mind.
Would you like me to stay, or would you prefer to do this alone?
It would be best if you stay. Who knows if something will happen and I'll have to suddenly be torn away.
Oh, of course. Don't worry, I'm sure I'll act faster to save you than I did in Raleigh.
One can only hope you learn from the experience. Oh, and regardless, if you're going to talk, don't stand on the steps while you do so. Otherwise, the entire campus will hear
On
you.
those steps?
Okay, so this one we'll call the Wild Rose. It stands in for the entity. Hidden amongst the leaves of the academy. However, the thorny vines of the Wild Rose are also strangling this academy. And quietly putting its feelers out. So as more of this academy is strangled, it will wither. And the rose will be free. Now here's the thing. Okay, so if my assumption is right, and what it's basically doing is it is using ants to carry these vines. So then these ants would be responsible for carrying the darkness to other places, strangling them, and then basically then draining the resources and uncovering the new ants that are underneath. No. We already know that at least one ant from this academy is trying to get its way over to GMA. However, we do have at least some meager means to fight against it. Unfortunately, our means amount to no more than brambles. If anything, it's more like a wall of dried weeds, twigs, and such that we are just barely defending ourselves with. Oh, tracking. Hello. There we go. Okay. So then what do we do? If we call for more reinforcements, they will be swallowed up. And their members turn into workers for the Rose. However, we cannot last forever, and neither can this academy.
So, what is it?
I suppose at its core, it's a wild rose, strangling the leaves hiding it and having its red vines carried by ants to other flowers to drain their sources and uncover the ants beneath them.
Right. I see. Don't know how I didn't figure that out. some vague representation of what's been going on to you?
You know, sometimes the reason for using symbolism is so you don't say the thing out loud.
No, but sometimes, you know what? Sure, it's fine. It's a lovely chalk drawing.
The only question then is, how do you possibly prune a rose? I mean, there's no shears designed for such an invasive species. It's tough, and if there is even a small little seedling or a portion of a stem, you'll find an entire rose bush starting to grow all along the sidewalk.
You know, usually poison does the trick. That can often kill everything around it, too.
So, unless you're willing to sacrifice the lovely herbs that you've cultivated, and possibly your entire garden, the best that you could possibly hope for would be to trap it under, I don't know, possibly a flower pot? But even when deprived of sunlight, roses grow quickly.
And it's just time to pluck it out of the ground.
But if you do that, there's a chance that parts of it will fall, or there will be parts that you missed. And wherever you put it next, it will inevitably grow and spread there, too.
Maybe you just need to think more creatively. I'm sure there's ways. Get rid of that nasty thorny bush. One way or another. Can't keep it covered forever.
And unfortunately, in order to avoid uprooting the plants around it, the most meager defense you have against the rose is just to put up maybe some brambles. But then the rose overtakes that too. And what certainly doesn't help is when you have bugs that certainly seem to benefit from this rose. So they try to make as much of it as possible. Get to grow everywhere so they can have everything. It used to be that the vibrant, shady bush that was planted above it kept it at bay. But we're seeing that it is slowly draining the life from it.
At some point you just have to cut your losses and go for it. I think the main issue here, though, is that whoever owns this bush, this garden, doesn't know what poison he is. Not much you can do about
Certainly
that.
not.
But then keep trying until you figure out which poison works, which one kills you too. You could leave it.
What worries me is that it
We have
may
some
give
questions
people some
later.
severe migraines. But
Think
if
so?
you insist, I won't take
I mean, that's
responsibility
not
for it.
something I considered, but that's not. I didn't even think about that, but okay.
I know, my art is so lovely, others just cannot perceive it.
Of course. Well, probably most people are at the training grounds, but I'll be heading back to the dorm island for at least a couple minutes. You alright?
I'm fine. I fell off my seat. Ow. My poor little booty.
I'd assume everybody's at the training grounds. Feel like it's gonna be a long or a short day today?
Given the fact that it took around about 2 hours before we were finally called for assembly, it's going to be a long day.
Well, I'll head to the training ground then, if you wish to join me. Actually, I think I'll go grab my weapon just in case.
I think I might have closed the door a little bit too much. Cats might be upset that they can't get into my room. Whoopsies. Ugh. It's almost 1. Got about another hour and a half until the lighthouse usually goes off. Let's just sit. Let's sit, have a drink of water. Ugh. Oh, big stretches. Alright, so the crystal used for the barrier has been locked off. And we can't even begin to imagine how to go about looking into what's going on with the tree without possibly compromising its integrity. Okay, so then what? The next best place would be to look into the people who are suspected of being contaminated. However, there are quite a few problems with that. Number 1 being that you could also become compromised. Second being they might become alerted to your behavior and pass that information on to others, and possibly, best case scenario, they just don't talk to you. Best case. Could try to go along with Val's plan to make a compass, but what does that truly accomplish? It's for lack of better terminology, I guess it's like digging deep underground to try to get at a stash of nuclear bombs. You know, just to prove that's there, I guess. Nobody here has the right equipment to safely handle this entity. Not through spells, strength. Itchy eye.
Oh, hello, Coretta. Didn't realize you were gonna wait here. Figured you would have waited over there where there were people.
And over here there is no seating. In any scenario in which you wish for somebody to spend, not wish, expect, that's the word. In which you expect that somebody's going to end up waiting for a long time, you might as well put in some seating. It's why I'm surprised that the upper hallway for the professors don't have even just wooden benches.
No chairs outside? That would make sense. Nice. He's really doing a little dance.
What? Kate.
Who knows? Oh, there goes Fowl running around. What are they doing? Hold on. What's going on? What are we doing? What are we possibly doing?
No, to the ship,
Is this-
to the ship, to the ship, to the ship, to the ship.
Hold on. What is it?
Not. Oh.
What is this? I
It's
gotta eat what's inside.
the gift that keeps on giving.
Be quiet in there.
I'm not.
No, there's no person in here. There would never be a person. We told you about this. It's in the contract. You stop moving right now.
All right. Let's take come on. Let's take another shot.
Come on.
Nothing.
What's up? No, don't worry about it. Totally not sus.
Justice can't let me sit this one by. What the fuck?
Totally not suspect. Don't worry about it. This is totally
They're gonna get us souvenirs. It's fine.
What's happening?
It's fine.
We're delivering a
Put
package.
in a fucking safe word.
My safe word is Shaka Khan.
Oh, there we go.
That's an incredible safe word, and that's an incredible safe word. You said the safe word. I gotta open the crate now.
No. Give me a no. He was supposed to. He's fucking.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
it's
All right,
supposed to.
here we go.
And of course, Yori finds the other one. Adric, you didn't put the cardboard box away, did you? Because Yori just found it.
Oh, I gave it to Lenneth. I bestowed him the power of the solid of the snakes.
She's like halfway out in the ocean.
No, you
The
just
snakes
gave
of solid, I
Yori
mean.
untold power.
The twin snakes. That's what it is. It's the power of the twin snakes.
ironclad. Wait until nightfall, then you can make your move.
My name is Buxley now, actually, until I get out of the box. I am Buxley.
Foxy, Moxie.
There you go. This extremely absurdly large box will not be out of place in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, now
Mason.
All right, this is as far as I'm gonna involve myself.
Mason.
Fine. Why does it keep...
Hey, we're just, bringing things over to the boat. Nothing.
Well, professors there, they could probably
Oh,
handle
the
it.
professor.
Just in case.
Have they
Oh,
finished their
she is
shipping
here.
and handling?
Yeah, true. It's kind of sealed. We sealed it. That's what they told me. Do you think I have a crowbar? Hey, can you come over here and unseal Ashley? We don't know how because
I can't
we didn't
believe
bring
you
any
guys.
tools. Yeah.
You crazy people.
Oh my god. And she's out of here.
I honestly do not know what's going on. I think Ashley is starting to lose it, honestly.
Carter's trying so hard not to laugh.
Ever figure out what Val was doing?
Just walking around.
Cheese it.
There you go.
I'm not going to report this. They're not going to believe me about this.
Just be careful. There's
To be
someone
fair, would they
probably using the
really
secret
believe the
technique of the
report?
twin snake.
They probably wouldn't, especially if nothing happened. I guess.
He could be useful.
Hey man, that's what I would say. Today's a boring day. Nothing.
I
Try to get a good
really
look
hope
at
they
his
don't find
face.
out I was on duty today. Get out of your mind, Cole. It's just nothing to see. Oh, hopefully nothing to see.
Alright,
Let's just go about your normal patrol.
so his name is Cole then.
Alright. Box? What box? I didn't see any box.
And where are you going?
Me? Oh, to be a wonderful star student, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. With a spotless record at that.
I know, right? Like, just
Absolutely model
honor everything
perfect.
all the way.
Never misses a class.
You're just going to you're going to blow up Fortune Bay, aren't you?
You have no fucking clue. I would rescue.
You're
the
not
Pinocchio
actually going to
before
do that, are you?
No. Jesus Christ! I would rescue the Pinocchios first, and then I would blow the fuck out of it.
Of course, yes. Rescue the monkeys.
They're trapped there. They're not part of that ecosystem. They were put there.
Well, I'm pretty sure Leanda brought like one or two over, keeping them in her dorm.
Did you really think so?
Heard she brought like an actual monkey once before, so it wouldn't surprise me if she brought like a couple and they decided to like repopulate over here.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna totally turn in and go, and totally, relax in my dorms as usual. So I'll see you guys around. Okay, bye bye.
Mm-hmm.
Sim here doesn't seem like Val being acting a bit strange.
Are you saying that because you have a genuine suspicion, or because you just
No,
already
he
don't like
just
him?
seems a bit more frantic than usual. And there's Levius and Cortez.
Unfortunately, I cannot claim that I have known him for very long.
We work in the same division and I barely know him. Keeps to himself more than I do. Surprisingly.
Oh, special package.
Oh, why, thank you. This
You're
must be the
welcome.
I think
special
the
package
contents are
that
a
was
bit delayed.
delivered. This must be that special package that was... Here, Adric, help me up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Hold on, let me push it back onto the thing real quick. There we go.
There you go.
Well,
It isn't working. I hated it.
Ashley. Oh my gosh.
you forgot to turn your legs back on.
Her legs are broken. Don't worry about it.
Here. Or, well done.
But the fucking what? The box is very angry.
What a shame. I was about to... Words are just escaping me today. Perhaps elucidate on the subject of the importance of nobility within the military. Or, the other way around, the importance of military presence within the nobility. But alas... Oh, it's so boring. Okay. You know what?
I'll just sit right here.
Oh man. Life's crazy.
So, did you find what you've been looking for? About earlier, you seemed a bit restless.
I did not, in fact. Honestly, with nothing to do today, I'm almost bored to tears.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but...
Would you like to join us as we pick something to read in the library?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
It really isn't like there's anything better to do.
Oh yeah. Have you guys seen Vivina recently?
Last I saw her, she was making sure that Ashley had a safe word, so.
Yeah, she was over by the docks, but I do not know where she went after
Yeah, I
that.
don't know where she went. Yeah, that was the last time I saw her too. Darn.
Hmm.
Good afternoon.
Oh. Hey, Mason.
Mason, how's it going?
Good afternoon. What's up? Yo, did you guys find that package to be okay? It's a little rowdy.
The
The
package,
contents
yeah.
got a bit delayed, and then
Restless. Ended up returning to sender.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Oh no. Oh no. Right. This is also one of the places that doesn't have a proper barrel. I see.
What the?
Well, we got what do we got here? We got plant creatures and what's that one?
Undead bindings of flesh and bone.
Okay. That's an interesting one. What's the new plant creature book got? Is this an update or is
Okay.
Alright, let's see. Chromatic glass, Chapter 1, Invention. Chromatic glass is an impure glass with a blue-purple hue. Let me actually go ahead and make sure. Okay, good, it is getting my place. When active, an aura is emitted from the glass that looks like flames burning in matching colors. Wait a minute. If I... Okay, it doesn't stay connected to my hand when I go into my menu. Chromatic glass was invented in 1965, which would be
Oh, okay, I see.
roughly 150 years ago. It is used in prisons across the world to imprison magic users, a much more humane alternative to previous methods.
Graves.
Chapter 2. Creation and use. The chromatic glass is
Well,
made
never mind
by
about this
making
book.
glass with sand,
But
but
it would actually
disregarding the
contain
filtering
information
process that typically removes any impurities.
relating to things that we discovered in some of the other books.
unfortunate? But you know, I'm sure the information there is still
Considering-
useful. Should we come up against undead, which we did have that one training session with, and you know, possibly no coincidence, the dungeon delving might involve fighting undead creatures, right?
Yeah, this mainly deals with zombies, skeletons, mummies. The basics that we should already know. Bone bats, ghosts, and raves.
Remind me again how to deal with mummies.
Make sure to write
During
home
the
to them
melting
every so
process, ground
often.
up bitumen crystals are added to the mixture.
Damn.
The
Right.
glass is poured out in thick
Beans.
slabs and
How's it
broken
going?
apart for use.
Good little beans.
The larger the chunk, the more
Ah,
powerful its
what was
potential in
this?
use.
Through combat casualty care.
The primary function is the ability to
everyone should
diffuse
read that.
magic.
Yep.
I think I've read almost every book in here. at some
Any
point.
mage skilled in
Whether I read it
conjuration
here or
is
read it
able to
somewhere else.
bind another to a piece of chromatic glass
It was
with a
interesting,
spell.
the plant creature, the update for it, I don't think it had a plant skin in it when I flipped through.
The hidden pages were unlocked.
Then, no, like, they're gone, like, they're not in the book. Plant skin didn't make it into this version.
Right. Okay.
Let's see. Stronger the target, larger the chunk of chromatic glass needs to be. The stronger the conjurer binding, the target must. Oh, okay. So you need target strong. You need strong glass and a strong conjurer. Some prisons outsource the need by purchasing spell scrolls with a binding spell attached, or through the use of foci with trap magic precast.
Oh.
Chromatic glass is only effective within a few yards around it, depending on size and strength of the caster. However, if the target escapes and moves more than a mile from the chromatic glass for more than 4 hours, the binding will break completely. If the target manages to get over a mile from the glass, but is brought back within its effective range in under 4 hours, the spell does not need to be recast. It will simply begin taking effect again. When it comes to putting books away, you might as well put them into this neat little bookcase. At least that way, when somebody's searching for a book, they'll see it right away.
Fair enough. I was just setting them there so we could put them in a proper bin when we were done here.
Okay. Zombies. Threat rank D or a local threat. Sinister necromantic magic infuses the remains of the dead, causing them to rise as zombies that do their creator's bidding without fear or hesitation. They move with a jerky, uneven gait, clad in the moldering apparel they wore when put to rest, and carry the stench of decay. Most zombies are made from humanoid remains, though the flesh and bones of any formerly living creature can be imbued with a semblance of life. Necromantic magic, usually from spells, animates a zombie. Some zombies rise spontaneously.
We found a book. We did it. Herbs and plant life.
So many
Herbalism and
books.
plant life. What do they got? What do they got in here? They got Proteka.
Cleaning up.
Moongrazer Frond. They got Wolf's Bane. Aloe
Once
plants.
turned to a zombie, a creature can't be restored to life except by powerful magic such as a resurrection spell. A zombie retains no vestiges of its former self. Its mind is devoid of thought and imagination. A zombie left without orders simply stands in one place and rots unless something comes along that it can kill.
I know exactly.
The magic animating the zombie imbues it with evil, so left without purpose, it attacks any living creature it encounters. Skeletons, local threat. Apparently they don't know what force truly awakens a skeleton. I would assume necromantic. It can think in a rudimentary fashion, but only as a pale imitation of the way it behaved in life. No connection to its past self. Resurrecting skeleton restores its body and soul, banishing the... Oh, okay, so if you were to cast a resurrection spell on a skeleton, it restores both the body and the soul and banishes the spirit that used to inhabit it. Again, skeletal undead can be created from other creatures. Okay, mummies, regional threat. It's a virulent curse that acts as a disease called mummy rot.
About this plant here.
When
Guys ever
touched, this affliction will cause the flesh of its victims to rot away, leaving gruesome
not
scars
particularly.
and disfiguring them.
Well, I sly. I've never heard of it
Preserved
because it does not grow from a
corpse
seed. It
animated by the dark
magically
gods of the
occurs
desert.
in the world at random.
Symbols of the diagrams they serve. They're dead.
And it apparently use it to open any lock.
Right, so
with a
mummies
little
will
bit of
smell sharp and pungent like a
sacrifice of the
spice
plant
cabinet.
process.
Hmm.
Huh. Damn.
Interesting.
Here I thought picking up this book, I was just gonna look at artists' depictions of plants and not learn something new. But I did.
Okay, so mummies typically just guard their tombs and destroy what
Oh
be
no,
grave
it was
robbers.
just funny that the first thing I was like reading on this was about the arcane locks and how to break them.
You know what? Get some locksaw, and
Skeletal
it says it works on
dead,
minor scenes,
created
so
from giant bats or several bat
think
skeletons.
arcane lock might be something you could
Okay,
use.
so what they're evil.
But you'd have to
but
find
they
the
do take
locksaw to do it.
commands.
I don't know what your spell they need to make it do its thing, or just put a little man in it.
They will typically hunt until they have killed at least 2 creatures, and often go out of their way to kill bats.
But how do you cast?
They often attack
So
in
you don't
large
do an arcane
numbers.
lock traditionally?
1 or 2 at a time will swoop in to hit a target.
Hmm.
And then 1 or 2 more will attack in rapid succession in a repeating pattern to disorient the target.
Are these local or global?
Most vulnerable to melee attack.
They are local witch people.
Oh, okay.
Which page are you? Are you just arcane lock or?
I'm on the. I'm on page 3.
Yeah. What's your header? What's your header say?
Barricade.
Okay. All right. Barricade and
Ghosts. Local threat.
Hmm.
Mimic dis.
They can be raised and controlled by wizards, liches, and other casters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because mimics are a spell, not a creature.
Okay, so if the ghost is destroyed on the material plane or the master dies,
Right. Yeah.
the ghost will, according to this, be laid to rest. Requires much more magic, so if you see a ghost and it hasn't somehow not arrived, but come into being on its own, then you can assume that there's a very powerful caster behind it.
Is it dinner time already?
Dinner time it is, yeah.
Let's carry some of these books so we can properly dispose of them as a courtesy to everyone else.
Ghosts can also cast spells. Lovely. Okay, what else can I do moving forward with all of this investigation I've been doing? I could try to reach out to some of the Ascension staff, the ones that were responsible for sharing information with our professors. But, I feel like at the very least that puts suspicion on me. because I can just imagine that I go up to them and they'd be like, nice, great, you know all this information already. How?
Well, people are getting their stuff done, so.
Is that the same
I don't know.
giant bag of chips that one of the professors had
I know
this morning?
Cassidy was gonna be fighting Ryder, but I don't know if that's
Morning
occurring.
assembly?
Grabbed a bag of
Now,
chips,
or-
and then when I pulled
I
it,
missed it.
some paperwork. It was like a whole fucking family-sized bag.
I think they finished their fight.
I got
Yeah,
that,
it was
like,
probably
Costco
because
size,
somebody
you know?
forgot.
Oh, damn, I must have missed
because
it, darn.
Probably because somebody forgot to, you know, reset it back to its normal
Yeah.
size.
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah, probably it was that professor.
Either way, you want some chips? I don't think I can finish it.
Hungry.
That's fair. That's not what
I'm very hungry.
Nope.
Mhm.
Oh, no, you're
okay.
fine. Sorry.
Nom 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 nom. Nom nom.
Hey, Levius, I want some chips.
Coretta?
What are you looking
Do you know if we have to have another meeting today?
Wow, it's a lot of
Cheesy
stuff.
bacon, top middle.
I have received no.
I'll be back for dinner.
There has been no mention of any meeting.
I swear.
And truth be
Okay,
told,
because I
after
thought that was
dinner-
what we were.
Did she hear about what happened?
What happened?
A big bowl
Unless
of
there's
mac
something
and cheese
specific you'd
sounds
like to
good
talk
today.
about after dinner,
Is she aware
I'm
of it?
likely
Oh,
just to retire.
I told her a little bit, but I haven't
Alright,
gone into
yeah,
detail.
here's the plan.
Fair enough. It was just
Okay.
because I
Well,
thought I
you know,
heard
if she finds out another way, she might be mad
yesterday
at
that we
Tom,
were
but
going
that's up
to,
you.
but if we're not, then that's fine.
Hold on.
I told her a little bit last night, but
Yeah.
again, not
She
much
is a
detail.
spirit of knowledge and not a
We've-
spirit of white
Have you
lies.
seen?
So keep that in
Have you
mind.
seen Professor Nisha?
Or
And
hot
or
shoes, I should say.
Yes.
Professor Spring?
No.
Oh, I'm waiting for either one
I think it was more I just wasn't in the
because
mindset
I
to
have
talk about
Why?
it.
a question
enough,
about
after
the stone upstairs.
Oh.
Since you know,
Well, Professor Nisha was last seen in the arena.
like right now.
Last I saw her, either that or she's in the medical, because she had to take Ryder for some blood work.
So my big brain scheme.
Oh, good luck taking
Ah,
Ryder's
okay.
blood.
You take some of
Well,
the-
if she's in,
She got it
she's in the
yesterday,
medical,
so
then
break 'em on top.
she's in
Oh,
work
like a
mode. She's not gonna want to
crumble
talk to me.
I was looking for like
I think it's
just
'cause,
slices of bacon,
you know,
but I could not find them.
I'm going to retire for the day. Would,
I've
would at
just
least
had
one
a
of you
bad-
accompany
I've just had
me?
a day. Okay.
It's a dumb reason.
I'll go.
Well, how's that a dumb reason to donate blood?
I'll be back.
Whole cheesy bacon.
He donated blood to show up.
Also, I don't think Professor Finn's around. Back on his
So you did go to bed early.
Man, I'm gonna.
Pardon.
I'm going to get out of VR. I'm going to eat because I did not eat enough for dinner. And to be honest, it's making me a little grumpy. And I'm going to drink plenty of water. Do you
Yeah,
have
no,
something
never
to
mind.
say?
No, I was about to say, probably going through the red portal out front would have been faster, but it's probably the same distance.
Right. It keeps slipping my mind that you're able to just lift yourself higher into the air.
Yeah. But not by much.
Dita, do you have much experience with plants or tending for a garden?
Unfortunately, no. Plants don't tend to grow very well in the desert. So unless you're talking about succulents or cacti, then I'm kind of not that very good with them. At least growing them, I don't know. I've read books about them in herbology.
The metaphor would probably be lost on her then.
Is there a specific plant that you want help on?
I'm merely wondering what somebody from Abagua would do about an invasive species.
Study it. Make sure we know where the locations are at. Isolate it. Find its weakness and begin eradicating it slowly but surely until the last one is gone. For example, if it was weak to fire, then, well, isolate the area, set it ablaze, make sure the surrounding areas don't catch on fire. No.
I suppose that would be the usual way to go about it, wouldn't it?
But then again, fire doesn't usually get rid of the roots, so you would have to go digging up, but then that would be...
And even then, if you're to use pesticide, you also risk the rest of the garden around it.
Exactly. So it depends on... I suppose it would depend on the location of it. If possible, if it's a large infestation and there are very little surrounding but useful plants, I would relocate the useful plants and then start scorch earth the area. Save the ones that are most useful first.
And then I would assume if the invasive species had gotten too big for its small plot of land, then the answer would be to get a bigger pot, so to speak.
Well, we would have to expand the plot. Is your invasive plant in a bed? In a elevated bed? Is this what is happening? Or are we talking
Honestly,
entirely metaphorical?
It's entirely metaphorical.
I was, common is very hard sometimes. Can't catch the nuances.
That is why descriptive metaphors are often most used. Regardless, to do any of those things would require a great amount of labor, and quite possibly would any option could possibly jeopardize certain amounts of the area around it. Because regardless, the bed it used to lay in is slowly being carried out. It has thorny vines growing this way and that, guided by ants. And the more flowers it restricts and drains, the more ants are uncovered. So then it has more to pull from. So one of the risks in uprooting this wild rose, as it would be, is that you also risk uprooting the flowers that hide these other bugs.
Around. Mm-hmm.
And they could be coerced or otherwise follow the ones that are guiding and benefiting from the rose.
So, you're asking what to do with the rose if we cannot uproot it.
And we certainly cannot use pesticide.
I suppose we just have to trim it. Until we figured out what to do to get rid of it properly for the long run. The best we can do for the short term would be just to trim it back and protect the plants underneath as much as we can.
I suppose to make that easier, the best option may just well be to squash the bugs guiding it. It's just a shame every one of us is a bug.
So self-sacrifice?
Perhaps if there is ever a way to fully contain this rose, you might have to trap everything living with it.
Everything in the plant bed itself, or everything in the plant bed and the surrounding areas?
Everything in the plant bed. Everything that it has currently gained a stranglehold on. Because at the moment...
Would include...
Go ahead.
Which would include whatever plant species were introduced later on into the plant bed before knowing that they were already going to be in danger.
Yes. However, hopefully, some of the bugs that were carried in with the flowers can be used to strengthen the fence around it. Before it gets too wild.
I see. Do we know which of these bugs in specific?
If you recall, there is one bug which has been taught before to constantly feed on the rose. It typically has a dark red coloring. And it is often backed up by smaller yet more numerous blue bugs.
So this particular red bug is the one that we have to locate and make sure survives to help out and strengthen the surrounding areas.
That bug in particular seems to be the lead guide that is coercing other bugs in the area to guide the rose.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I thought the bugs were the good guys. So no, they are the bad guys. I see.
We are all bugs. Any one of us could be.
We are the bugs.
Any one of us could end up guiding the rose.
I see. One very big bug. Red. Surrounded by lots of little blue bugs. I'm trying, Coretta. I really am.
Think of it this way. And I will have to lower my voice for this, so come here. It is what we talked about the other night. Professor Finn and the Cross-Allied Forces officers. At this point, because I have no other information and I can only speculate, my firmest speculation is that the best way to slow the rose's growth and stranglehold over the flower bed would be to contain the rose and all the bugs underneath it.
So
a large portion of the forces, and possibly ourselves. Though hopefully, within that containment, perhaps there would be a chance that we could strengthen that barrier. The problem is, when moving the rose, there's also a chance that it will escape containment.
the rose should not be moved. The rose should be continuously trimmed back until, but then it gets stronger. I understand.
And the biggest problem is, this entire world is the garden. Depending on how far the bugs reach, they can guide its vines to any corner of the garden.
Oh. I did not think it would be that dire.
This is the conclusion I have come to.
So, even if we try or deny not to help, no matter what,
the only thing we can do is possibly slow it. And unfortunately, with how things are, we do not currently have the means to help. Not yet. Thinking on this further, and I must ask that you do not act upon this until I give you word to. But we may have to reach out to these students here. One student that I know has given information willingly is Miss Vivina Caceres. However, I suggest that you do not put faith in her, but do try to get close to her. She is a wild card of a cadet, and she has her own sense of justice. Should you get on her bad side, she is likely to do almost anything against you. Up to and including death.
Well, when you're literally the princess of all the literal insects, well, you kind of get to be wary of every little scorpion that crosses your path.
As one should be.
I've noticed that Rex also likes to give out information, but the way he gives it out, a little convoluted. You have to separate what is truth from what is his theories, and his theories are very off the mark. But there are little bits there that I found.
When it comes to Rex, likely the best way to go about it would be to get him to genuinely make a mistake.
Yes.
He is, after all, the...
That one time with the professors was...
Yes. He was the one who gave me the clue to start looking into this. The more you know about this, the more susceptible you are.
Very... Are you including yourself in this susceptibility? Word?
Of course I am.
Hmm.
The only thing probably keeping me from being more susceptible than most might be my light attribute, and the fact that it is purely light. But that is also only if we assume that this entity is affiliated with darkness, which we cannot fully assume yet.
Oh.
If possible, do not call it by that name. The last thing we need is for students and others with a darkness affinity to feel isolated.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm primarily wind, secondary dark, and with that, you... Yeah.
I am tired, and I shall retire.
Thank you very much.
Be
I'll
safe on your way. Move quickly.
have to mold this over now. Oh, entire world. I thought it was just here.
Another great inventing session for Coretta. It did so much better than drawing on the chalkboard. She's been inventing a lot lately. Like, she talked to Barry, and now it's like she's enjoyed it. Releases a lot of that stress. But nevertheless, that is the end for today.